Which country? I'll ask this one. Which country produces the most coffee in the world? Because I'm drinking coffee right now.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is actually an interesting question.
Yeah, this is way better than the email question.
Yeah, this is a much better question. I'm probably gonna just cut that other.
Yeah,
question.
maybe just start it here.
I'm starting it there. Like that other question was terrible. This is a great question though. Okay, so I'm trying to think. I mean,
rounds.
obviously Colombia is
Right.
a contender for sure.
Yeah.
I know they have a lot of coffee in Costa Rica
Yeah.
as well. I'm trying to think of like where they are sourced. I feel like I don't want to waste too much of everyone's time pondering,
I really
pontificating.
I need the soundboard so we can do that
Yeah,
sound.
I'm just gonna go Colombia.
It is Brazil.
I
It is
almost said Brazil. That was like I thought Brazil just because it's so big of a country.
Yeah. Damn. Well, you can't. You're close, but no cigar. Whatever that saying means.
Close, but no espresso.
Close, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we're recording the podcast.
Okay. Carson Runquist, I have a big question for you.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned this to me, and then we haven't talked about it since. You went car shopping.
I did.
How was that experience?
Man, I will just say, like, well, it was good. The thing is, it seemed like that was the first time I brought it up to you, so it seemed very impulsive, but it wasn't. I've been thinking about this for like a while because my current car has some issues. And this,
here's the thing. I always had a pleasant experience. In your car, but you always would be like, yeah, like this is wrong with it.
Yeah.
You're like, I love the car, but like a bunch of things don't work.
For like over a year, it said the passenger's airbag was not working. So, and I think
that did concern me
Yeah.
when I was the passenger.
and
I will say
it's a miracle.
It's disconcerting.
Nothing ever happened. Thank God. The car is not in my possession anymore. It got to a point though, because it was like a fine car that I could like drive. It's like, I'm just not at a point where I'm like, I wanted to get a new car. I'm like, I'm not in the mood to do that. Right now.
Yeah.
And then I was driving to get my internet fixed because my internet also broke. And on my way to the Xfinity store, there was a bad smoke coming out of the back of my car that smelled really strong and really bad. And I stopped at the nearest auto repair shop and was like, hey, can you just like let me know what's going on? And he's like, this is very bad. He's like, he was like, this is a very serious problem, which I'm like, I don't know how much of that is real, but as I went to like 3 other auto shops after that, it's definitely real. There was like an oil leak in my turbo or something, and something else, some other leak going on somewhere else. And they were like, you can drive the car, but you definitely can't do this long term. You're going to have to get this repaired. And the repair costs for something like this are through the roof. Like, it is so expensive. Like, and it's a shitty car I didn't buy for much to begin with, that I'm like, I don't know how. I've already put in so much money in repairs to this car. I don't know if it's worth it to put in even more money to a shitty car. So
Yeah.
I just did what I've been thinking about doing for a while, and I went ahead and got a new Subaru Outback.
Yeah, you're joining the Subaru club.
I'm part of this.
Our friend of the pod, Brandon, has a Subaru.
Yep. Proud.
You gonna go off roading?
Maybe they do have snow and dirt mode.
Yeah,
it's a button.
Which in Chicago would be useful in the winter.
Yeah. Well, he was. Yeah, the guy at the Subaru
Is there
thing
a
was
pothole
like,
mode?
You might need to go off roading on like Irving Park or whatever. And I was like, that's a Chicago joke. It's true.
Yeah.
Because they're awful roads in the city.
Anyway, that's famous for that.
I've just been like, things have been so awful. Like I don't remember if I brought this back up, but my laptop like a month ago broke. just out of nowhere. Just the screen was
Yeah,
like flat.
yeah.
So my laptop broke. My internet stopped working because there was a squirrel's nest in whatever the thing was on the side of the building, like, and they were eating at the wires. And then my car broke down. So it's been
You've been having a real rough go.
It's been an awful go.
It's funny because I think a couple weeks ago we did the whole thing like, how was your week? And you were like, my week was amazing. And now you're like, I had the worst week of all time.
It feels like everything in my life, everything important has broken at once. And I'm like, it's just a lot
But
of...
not our bond.
No, not our bond, no. It's just like so many expensive purchases that I didn't want to make and was not planning on making. And there was like kind of no choice after, because I'm like, the Wi-Fi thing definitely needed to, thank God actually the Wi-Fi thing was not very expensive. They did it all for free, but yeah. Anyway.
Did you get to keep the squirrels?
No, unfortunately. We took care of the squirrels though. Just so you know,
that's
we
good.
took care.
They're relocated?
Yeah.
And by took care, you mean relocated,
Yeah.
not
We not
because the way you said
cracking my
that
knuckles.
was ambiguous.
We took care of the
Like, we
squirrels.
took care of them.
I
wasn't worried about the squirrels getting killed. Like, I don't know why you think that was my concern.
No. So anyway, how was your week, Jeff? I hope
My week was
better than mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went for a really nice nature walk in a park near here. Saw what I saw 4 dolphins.
Wow.
That's not that like Florida. You if you're on
I know, but like
the coast, you see dolphins all the time.
non-Florida person, I'm just like, that's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I also just a lot of long birds here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of birds that have really long legs and really long necks.
Flamingos? You see flamingos?
No, not flamingos.
Right.
No, like egrets, herons.
All right.
Yeah, so blue heron is like one of the biggest birds around here. They're huge.
Blue herons are
They're
crazy.
like 3 feet tall or something. But there's something called a night heron, and they do not look like blue herons at all. Like they're really like short and like they're supposed to only come out at night, and they're like creepy. And they don't have long necks at all, which is like I don't even know how you're a heron at this point.
That's terrifying.
But yeah, I saw one of those too.
Wow. I feel like a dumbass. Are flamingos not in Florida? Is that not a...
So they're in the Caribbean for sure.
Okay.
Because when I used to do archaeology in the Bahamas, there was the island I was on. The only tourism that they had was flamingo watchers because they had like one of the largest flamingo colonies.
Wow.
In this island, but we don't really have a ton of them in Florida.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna Google that because I don't ever see them.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're mostly in like the Everglades and the Keys.
Okay. Gotcha.
And near like Miami and South, so they're not really here.
Right. Damn. All my life, thought there were flamingos in Florida.
Yeah. We do have wild parrots.
That's cool. You guys have some
they're all
cool
over the place.
wildlife
Loud
in Florida, I will say.
Yep. My side of the state doesn't have iguanas, but where my grandma lives on the other side of the state has iguanas. They're huge.
That's awesome. I love iguanas.
We do have tortoises as well.
Those are great. Do you have gators?
Yeah, we have tortoises.
You have alligators.
Oh, of course. Tons. It's Florida. Come on.
My bad. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you saw some cool animals this week. That's great.
Yeah, Florida is kind of like the Australia
Yeah.
of America.
It kind of is. I mean, well, the thing is,
I don't know why I said that.
In the context of the world,
we have to justify this
we all
now.
love Australia, but I feel like America, and this is nothing against you, really turns on Florida pretty often.
Mm-hmm. No, fairly, usually.
Yeah,
fairly.
some bad people in Florida, but beautiful state for the most part. Anyway,
very hot.
Let's see. I was gonna try and come up with a segue.
Like you.
Thanks. Well, speaking of hot, this week we're talking about a show from the hottest man in television, Nathan Fielder. That was kind of a
Interesting
segue.
segue. A little bit forced, but we both shaved this week.
I was gonna say, yeah, we are both clean shaven boys. That's the other thing.
We did it special for this episode.
Do you struggle, Jeff? Quick question about shaving. The thing is, at a certain point, the mustache gets long enough to where the ends of the hairs like kind of wrap around and like poke your skin.
Yeah,
and it's very prickly.
Yeah, you gotta trim.
You gotta trim it.
that.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, no, like when like you kind of gotta like make a line,
Yeah.
here where you just it's kind of it's difficult sometimes, and then if you mess up, you just gotta shave everything.
See, I'm just too afraid of messing up and having to end my streak, but good to know. I think maybe I'll give the mustache because I like having the mustache. Let me just say, feels
You
good.
can also get, like a thing that cuts it to like a certain length.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The razor thing.
But then, but the issue with that is that it gets interfered with by your nose, so then you have to freehand the parts right under your nose.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
so
a
it's
disaster.
tricky.
Okay. Well, speaking of
Speaking of disasters that are tricky,
yeah, we're talking about the rehearsal this week, which you watched the second episode, right, Jeff?
I did. Did
I
you?
did. So here
Yeah.
I'll read the synopsis, which I'm excited to read the synopsis
For the whole
show. It is Nathan Fielder returns to television to explore the lengths one person will go to reduce the uncertainties of everyday life. Fielder stars as the director of rehearsals, which are elaborately staged scenarios recreating parts of ordinary people's lives that are meant to help them prepare for a big moment in their lives. A construction crew, a legion of actors, and seemingly unlimited resources all come together to allow ordinary people to rehearse for these moments by giving them the opportunity to play them out in carefully crafted simulations of Fielder's own designs.
That's a
Bulky
statement.
synopsis. Yeah, that's so much.
I just from a very broad perspective was really impressed that Nathan Fielder found an idea that still is in the same spirit of Nathan for You.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the issue with that show, obviously, is at a certain point, and this happened to Sacha Baron Cohen with Ali G, you got too famous to the point where you can't do it anymore.
Right.
Because I remember that Nathan Fielder was talking about how they had to like bail on some of their ideas, like in later seasons of Nathan for You, because people like realized what was up.
Yeah.
So this is just like a ingenious way of still following the spirit of the show, which for me is, there's like one joke in these shows, and the joke is a guy who's solving a problem, but in the most like roundabout, complicated, overblown way possible.
Yes. Yeah. That is what the show is. And I honestly,
that's what Nathan for You was, and then it's like they found a way to do it
right.
again.
And I was kind of worried. I'm glad we are talking about episode 2 as well. And it might even be too early to like speak on this as a whole, because clearly the show is turning into something I didn't expect it to, which is unsurprising. But I'm like, I was worried after the first episode is phenomenal. First of all, like the pilot is just the perfect setup for this show. But I was like, I wonder if this will stay funny and stay interesting if they just keep doing these rehearsals. And first of all, like the premise of episode 2 is just already way funnier.
Insane.
It's just raising a kid up to like age 18, but like swapping out the kids over the course of 2 months.
Yeah, because of child acting laws. And that's the thing. I always love the niche reasons why they have to do these really absurd things.
Yeah.
Where like for instance in Nathan for You, the one where there was the TV shop that was there where they couldn't compete with Best Buy, where they tried to do the price match guarantee, but legally they had to actually sell the TV for $1 to get Best Buy to price match it. So he made like people have to wear tuxedos, and then they had to crawl through a small door and get past an alligator.
So good. Yeah. So that's what this show is. And when I, like, as I was saying, I feel like I don't know, because after this, clearly this story in episode 2 is not over.
Yeah.
So it's gonna
Oh,
keep
yeah.
going. But I'm like, is this what the rest of the season's gonna be, or is it gonna pick up into others? It's like, I truly have no idea. I'm also like, there's just it's such a simple yet layered concept that he can play with so much. Like even just his like conversation with, I forget her name, the main woman of episode 2, but they're like talking at the bar, and I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if that was like rehearsed, and that's like there's like a bunch of like stuff behind everything that's going on. I'm just like, it's insane.
Yeah. And speaking of the bar,
Yeah.
see, that's the thing where when you have that HBO money,
Yeah.
I don't want to really say too much
Right,
about that.
right.
Just because, I don't know if people are listening to this, wondering what we're even talking about. People from other countries, I wonder if they even are aware the show exists.
Yeah.
And if you are wondering about this, watch Nathan for You, and then you can watch this after.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about this one. I feel like already personally, I think I like this one a little bit more than Nathan for You, just because it's so much crazier. Like Nathan for You is just like, it is hilarious, and like the episode by like there are some episodes in there that are just amazing. But this is like so ridiculous. It's like so huge and over the top, and
Yeah, with that HBO
with the
money.
HBO money, yeah. It feels a lot like, it also like taps into this like, it's so funny how serious I start to take the show, and I'm like, it's so funny how serious, because like end of episode 2, there's like this like weirdly emotional moment with Nathan. We're just talking about how lonely he is, kind of, and I'm just like, why is this show so good at pulling that off on top of being really funny too? It's like, it's a miracle. I think it's amazing.
This is the show that like internally I analyze the most, because of what it says about comedy and like where modern comedy is at. Because this is a show that, 30 years ago could not exist. It wouldn't make any sense to anyone in the world.
What do you mean by that?
I can't imagine this show working in like the 80s
right,
or
right.
90s.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know, it's fascinating to me because there's been, people who say the show is mean, not the rehearsal necessarily, but Nathan for You.
Yeah.
And I know Nathan Fielder's argument has always been it's really a show about how accommodating people are, where he is this super weird guy and people still are trying to like please him.
Yeah.
So it's how far people will go to just like go along with what's happening.
Yeah.
So, like the gas rebate Nathan for You episode,
best one.
where for anyone who hasn't seen
best
that,
one.
yeah, they legally in the U.S. you can advertise something at a price if you have a rebate. You can advertise like what the price would be after someone claims the rebate. But legally, you can kind of make the rebate difficult to acquire. So they made the rebate. You had to manually deliver it on a mountain into a box, and then when they get there, they had to do a bunch of riddles to like find clues, and people would camp there overnight
With
just
Nathan,
to claim
yeah.
to get like $20 or $30 off of gas.
It's just so funny seeing that episode, like people slowly drop out and be like, I'm good. But the people that stick around,
the people that stayed, who had this like very emotional connection to each other,
it is amazing. It's like the best episode of that show.
Like the show to me said, like it tells you more about people in the United States than almost any other show, because it's these unfiltered moments.
Yeah.
Where it's the evolution of reality TV for me, where it's now the most real.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because when you put people in uncomfortable situations, they can't really keep up this persona of knowing they're on TV or something. They're just reacting.
Yeah. I feel like you can say the same about How To. Did you ever watch How To with John Wilson?
I've only seen the first episode.
Okay.
I really need to watch the
I was
rest.
gonna say because I mean that's produced or whatever by Nathan Fielder, and it's like the
Right.
same kind of, but it's way more. It's less direct. I feel like he's kind of like people watching instead of interacting with them,
Yeah.
and it's like you get the same thing of just how odd people are, but it's like really, it doesn't ever feel mean. It's like kind of like, isn't this kind of charming? Just how
Yeah.
people are, yeah, and
That's the
yeah.
thing. I think it's trying to show people as they are instead of, people being on television.
Yeah. Which is like, so I feel like, especially in reality TV, especially like today, that's like kind of rare. I would say everything is like very manufactured, and I don't know.
Right.
It's both very heartwarming and also, or I mean, funny, but also heartwarming and kind of authentic.
Yeah. And also, I do have to note just the way that the show is edited is so funny.
Phenomenal.
Because they pull out awkward moments,
Yeah.
out of anything that's possible.
Right.
So it is obviously kind of the opposite of reality, where they're trying to make it feel less manufactured and more awkward than it actually was. But you could tell it was pretty awkward to begin with.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm curious. I wonder how, I heard a rumor that the guy in the first episode, I forget what his name was. It was,
Yeah.
but that he was an actor and he wasn't a real, which I don't know if I fully believe that, because I'm like, it was too good of a performance if it was an actor, and it ruins the whole appeal of the show, I feel like.
Right.
I don't know. I that bummed me out, but I was also like, I don't fully believe it. To
Right.
be honest,
Yeah, I don't believe
don't
it.
believe it at all. What has been your favorite scene so far, Jeff? Is there any scene in particular here?
100% the reveal of the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then the guy just walking around saying, like, yeah, this thing was
Like-
crooked in the...
So unsurprised somehow. Like, he's just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is...
I know.
the bar, isn't it?
He wasn't impressed.
wasn't impressed
that this
at
clearly
all.
cost like $1 million.
And I love the fact that, like, Nathan still holds on to the bar in episode 2. Like,
Yeah.
it's just...
And then they had to cut out a section of it.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I like in that same episode where he's like trying to plant the trivia questions to people, so that he like subconsciously knows the answers.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, that's so that's so good.
unbelievable bit.
Even the ending scene, which we won't spoil,
Yeah.
was so funny.
Dude, yeah, I forgot about the ending scene. It's like seriously like the hardest I've laughed at a show in so
Yeah.
long. Did you watch this with your parents?
Yeah, I did.
Did they? I'm curious. Did they get it? Like, are they
My dad did. I don't think my mom liked it.
okay? Because that's when you were talking about like you couldn't have made this like 30 years ago or something. I feel like there is like kind of a generational gap with this sense of humor.
I don't even know if it's so much the sense of humor, which it for sure is an element of it, but I think it's also just what types of things were allowable on TV at the time.
Yeah.
Like this would, I think, be viewed in like very bad taste.
Right. Yeah.
Because it was a much more formal experience back then.
Totally.
Where now you have YouTube and you have videos of people farting for like
Yeah.
10 minutes straight.
That's true. I feel like the most like not kind of mundane stuff was on YouTube in the early days and went viral because people were like, "Look at this guy!" And
Evolution of
yeah,
dance.
and this is like
Wait, can you do the evolution of dance?
no, I never. Honestly, I think I was too late for the evolution of dance. I came into YouTube after that was a hit, which is kind of weird.
And then you took YouTube by
And then
storm.
I took it by storm. Yeah, I was there for the McDonald's rap, which was
Yeah.
pretty big. But yeah, I haven't watched this with my parents. I did show them the gas episode of Nathan for You.
Yeah.
Back in the pandemic, and my dad did not get it at all. He was just like, "These people are so stupid." I'm like, "But you have you have to laugh at it." Like I feel they just like the older crowd will like just take it a little too genuinely and be like disturbed by some of these people. Because like I watched How to with John Wilson with my mom, and she was just uncomfortable most of the time. But I'm like, I think there's like an appeal to just seeing how like authentically weird people
Yeah.
are. Like, I don't know. It's part of the appeal.
Yeah, I showed people in France the show, Nathan for You, and they loved it.
That's good because I also feel like there is a difference in what people find funny across the globe. Like when I was in France, a lot of people I met there had very different sense of humor, which was kind of interesting. I feel like Chicago, I guess, has like a very specific sense of humor, from what I can tell. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's all jokes about how the winters suck.
Yeah, and how bad the road. It's all just road jokes. Different.
It's all road jokes. I mean, that's what your car dealer
Yeah.
did.
Like
Yeah.
Irving Park, right? Like you
Yeah,
you
it's
know what I'm talking
ice,
about.
This snow mode, you're gonna need this for half the year.
So yeah. I don't know. I'm really excited about this show. It's okay,
Yeah.
something we haven't brought up, and I don't know how much there's to really say about this, but like a lot of people were comparing it as like a real life Synecdoche, New York, which it literally is, because it's like a
Yeah.
guy building a different version of real life to like act out. And
Wow.
I'm like, I'm sure Nathan knows that is a comparison. I'm just like, it just makes me excited to see how this will evolve. Because I
Yeah.
don't know. That is what I like about it more than Nathan for You, is just the fact that like it seems like not just like a one and done episode. It's not as episodic. It's like there is a story here with what Nathan did, and I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes.
I just remembered the scene in the most recent episode where he goes to the guy's apartment.
Yeah. Which is
And the whole thing with the license plate.
yeah. I've watched that episode twice, and like the scene where he's like, I was looking and we don't have any mayo, and I'm like, what? And the guy's like, yeah, buy some. I don't.
Also, he's talking about all the numbers. And
Yeah.
the guy's like, yeah, like maybe things just happen and like the numbers don't matter.
Thanks for your input.
Guy's like, but I see the numbers everywhere.
88 reminds me of
88.
The year.
The water that she gave me.
so good,
Dude, it's
so funny.
it also kind of makes you frightened that these people are walking around with you.
Right. Well, there was a tweet from the guy's brother, from Robin's brother, that was like, if you ever needed proof that my brother is a psychopath and shouldn't belong in society, watch the second episode of the rehearsal.
Yeah.
Which I'm like,
Dude,
that's
the guy also
crazy.
talked about how he crashed his car
Yeah.
at 100 miles an hour.
It's so good. Yeah. Crash my...
Okay, I also love how Nathan finds people on Craigslist. It's the classic American way to find weird people.
Absolutely. It's like that kind
the
of
guy
crowd.
who's supposed to watch the baby monitor at night.
Claimed he was a night owl.
Oh, you really have to watch this show.
You have to watch the show.
And Nathan for You. For me, it's the most interesting thing that's happened in comedy.
Yes.
In the last decade.
100%. It's so... I'm so glad that we're like he put out something new, because it feels like he kind of disappears when he's not making something. Like I haven't really seen any Nathan Field or anything until now, so pretty exciting. I guess we can't really rate this because it's like ongoing, but I say we like revisit it, to be honest, when the finale happens.
Yeah, well,
and we can talk about it
yeah,
some more.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's just so, it's like, it truly is like my favorite thing that I'm watching right now. So
yeah.
Anyway,
And this is a slower paced show than Nathan for You.
yeah,
Because that would have like 2 things in each episode.
yep,
Where it feels more like a documentary than
yeah,
like a television segment. Because Nathan for You really was like a television segment, fake kind of thing.
It seems like the last episode of Nathan for You, which was like that Finding Francis episode,
Yeah.
is like the kind of the test for this.
The blueprint
Yeah,
for this, yeah.
Yeah. Which is, everyone loved that, and this is just a giant version of that, which is so amazing. Like, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's that.
Time of day rating?
Time of day rating. I'm going to say like 3 p.m., just middle of the day.
Yeah.
What about you?
That's
yeah.
fair. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay. Cool. Well, check out The Rehearsal on HBO Max. It's like such a small time commitment too. It's like episodes are it's like 45,
like 27 minutes or something.
30. And that's that. I say we get into questions.
That sounds good to me.
These come no $15 Patreon questions this week, unfortunately. But if you want to get your questions guaranteed answered in these episodes, consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/carscast.
Want to make Karsten answer a stupid question? You pay us $15 a month. He has to answer a stupid question.
Exactly.
Every time.
I'm going to answer it.
He's going to answer it.
Yeah. But for now, we're going to stick to subreddit questions from r/carscast, which you guys should get in on. We have a bunch of new ones, actually. And this one comes from Nicole is Doing Fine. And it is, what is your song of the summer so far? What is the song
Mine
of the summer?
is Runner by Alex G.
You're kidding. That's what my answer was. That's what I was going to say.
Let's go.
Oh my God. Isn't it amazing, Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so glad you said that. I was literally going to say it's yeah. It is the song of the summer. It's so good. I wasn't a big Alex G fan before this summer, or before this song came out.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm like really into him.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm not a huge Alex G fan in the sense that I don't just like love all of the albums. Mm-hmm. But for me, when the song like hits, it really hits. So
it really hits.
You know, there's like 5 songs by Alex G that are in my top, 100 favorite songs.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so glad you said that. I honestly, you're knowing your music taste, that lines up. I should have expected this. But yeah, it's a really fantastic song. If you guys are looking for it.
Yeah. What are your other Alex G songs that you're into?
I really like I don't know how to pronounce it, Miss, just spelled MIS. It's like a really sad one, but I really like it. Mm-hmm. I like Mary, which I think is a TikTok song now. I think
really?
Which I didn't know, but apparently it's a trend on TikTok, which makes this answer less cool.
Yeah, I like Memory.
Yep.
Sarah.
Yeah.
What else?
Southern Sky is another one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Harvey.
Yep. He's got good song titles. Just straight.
Just one
point.
word.
Yep.
Yeah. Also Bobby.
Yeah.
A lot of names.
Well, that's the thing, is like I'm so new to his music that it's like there's a lot I still haven't listened to. But
You've heard Bobby though, right?
I've heard Bobby. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, I know, like, he's been like, I know so many people that love Alex G, and I've always like given it a shot. It hasn't worked, and then this song sent me over the edge. I'm like, this is an amazing song.
It's very interesting genre too. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like this country infused alternative rock thing.
Yeah, but it has a very summer sound to it.
Yeah,
which is why I'm like,
very
perfect
twangy.
summer. Yeah. We should start reviewing music. We're so good at describing music.
Yeah, take that, Alpha Media.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, that does it for that. I guess. Yeah. No, we're just agreeing on one song.
Maybe we should review music.
I would be down to do like a song recommendation of every episode or something like that.
We kind of used to do that. That was like
we
the
kind of did that.
Segment.
Yeah. Maybe we'll bring that back.
So yeah, our combined recommendation is "Runner" by Alex G.
Alex G. Just performed it on Jimmy Fallon. I have not seen the performance yet, but I heard he did good.
Yeah, I know our friend Jaxie loves Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, big James Fallon fan. He's got these shoes out. I don't know if you've heard of. He did a collaboration with Gobstoppers, the candy, to make a shoe. And
Jimmy Fallon?
Jimmy Fallon doesn't make any sense, and it's a skate shoe. And the point, I know, exactly. The point of the shoe is it's a white shoe, but the more you wear it and the more you wear it out, it turns into like a rainbow around it. So it's like,
Okay, so full gobstoppers.
yeah, full Gobstoppers. But
Do you like gobstoppers?
no, I was never.
Dude, chewy gobstoppers are awesome.
Really? Okay.
It defeats the point of it being a gobstopper because you just bite into it
Yeah.
immediately.
The
But
whole
they're good.
point is to suck on it for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's a cool concept for a shoe, but I'm not gonna support Jimmy. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to be caught dead wearing the Jimmy Fallon
Yeah.
shoe.
Someone walks up like, man, are those the Jimmy Fallons?
Yo, are those the Fallon's 11s? I'm like, yeah,
Those the Fallon stoppers?
those are the Fallon stoppers.
Wait, shouldn't they be called the Gob Stompers?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Gob. Oh damn, that's actually a good ass. Maybe we should get in on this.
Get on the Gobstopper collab. I email like the
Gobsteppers.
Gobstopper HQ and I'm like, hey, YouTuber Carson Runquist wants to get on this Gobstoppers collab.
I just want to, make something happen. This next one is for Jeff, and it's from GMC13579, and it's, hey Jeff, I just listened to the Mantis song for the first time. Game changing. What instruments did you play for that, and what was your learning process like? Do you still find time to play?
So I have some disappointing news. The Mantis song, as of like 2 days ago, is no longer, I think, on Spotify.
What?
The company I was using to host it stopped doing that service,
No.
and I haven't paid anyone else to put it back up.
Yeah, it's gone. I was trying to find it.
Yeah.
No.
But it's still available on YouTube.
Yep.
And I was playing let me think. I think I was playing an analog synthesizer, and which the fact that it's analog, not necessary. It was because I'm cool and have an
Right.
analog synthesizer, the Korg
Yeah.
Minilog. But you could probably make a very similar tone on your computer. And the stringed instrument that I'm strumming is a mandolin,
Gotcha.
which I have somewhere.
I'm looking at the I'm Just a Mantis YouTube thing right now and forgot that there was a guy that went to this page every day. And
No, he played it on Spotify every day.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait. Did he went to it on YouTube every day? You're right.
yeah. He said day 160 of me listening to I'm Just a Mantis every day for a year. Oh wait.
Okay, I have this
You got the
mandolin.
instrument. There it is.
Yeah, I don't remember how I played it. I think it was like
Wow. Wow. A live rendition of I'm Just a
Yeah.
Mantis.
into the. I don't remember the words.
Wow. Damn.
There you go.
You should do a live performance of it at some point.
I should. I'll have to
A
remember
live
the
show
words.
for just that song.
I go live on YouTube on the
Yeah.
podcast account.
Yeah, you should. You should. That'd be so
There's like
funny.
one person who joined. It's just me playing. I'm just a mantis.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Great. Okay, and this one actually we kind of talked about a little bit earlier, but it's from Tad HG2341, and it's mustache growth tips from you two mustache masters.
Ooh.
is
Oh no. This is the
so-
worst week for you to
Yeah.
ask that.
Mustache growth masters, both clean shaven.
Well, here's the tip. I could not grow a mustache until I was 24 years old.
Yeah.
So
So-
wait, patience.
Yeah, don't force it if you can't do it because then it'll just come out looking bad, you know.
Yeah.
Wait until you like can fully grow the hair and then go crazy. But I don't know.
Go crazy.
Go crazy. I don't like you. Do you use like oils or creams on
No.
it? Like no, okay. Because I've like tried that. I use like the aftershave lotion because I have like
I use the
irritated
Manscaped
skin.
ball toner.
Yeah, not on my face though.
Like if it's good enough for balls, it's good enough for my mustache.
Right. I did think I tried the razor on my face, and it's not as functional as it is on.
After you used it on your balls?
No, I did this first. This was the
Okay,
first.
okay.
Yeah, no, I would never.
Because I read the little manual, and explicitly it says don't do that.
Yeah, no.
It's like you can use it on your face, but don't also
don't.
use it on your balls if that's
Right.
the case.
Yeah. So that's that. And honestly, we have time for one more.
Yeah.
And this is from Educational Bowl 186. It's best road trip snack.
See, there's some elements that go into a road trip snack that makes
Yeah.
it different from a normal snack. It needs
Yeah.
to be not messy so you don't mess up your car. It needs to be easy to grab without looking if you're the one driving. So I would say Pringles are pretty good.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, that's the thing. Pringles are a good option. It's tough because I think road trip snacks, you get kind of bored of it if you're eating just one thing. So I try to get something savory and something sweet.
And then you eat them together?
No, not together, but I switch it up because I'm like, oh, well, now I'm in the mood for something
Pringle
sweet.
jelly bean sandwich?
Yeah. Yeah. Chocolate covered pretzels. That's the ideal. Yeah. That's not what I get though.
No, that'd be messy.
Actually,
It'd melt in your fingers and you're touching the steering wheel.
yeah, I do get Pringles. Pringles are a good one. I like beef jerky, to be honest.
Beef jerky's good.
Beef jerky's good. I think
Did
everyone
I
else
tell
in the
you
car.
that I
Yeah.
went to the beef jerky outlet?
You did. Why?
Because it's literally walking distance from where I am.
That's
and I had never
amazing.
been there.
Did you get anything cool? Oh, there it is. Wow.
Cherry maple beef jerky.
Ooh, that sounds really good, actually.
Yeah.
Damn.
Beef jerky outlet.
Yeah, gotta plug it.
Dude, they had shark jerky and snake jerky.
Whoa, dude, I want to try that.
Yeah. I don't know if I do. I actually have had shark before because I'm from Florida.
Yeah, was it good?
Yeah, it's part of your driving test. To get a license, you need to eat some shark.
Eat some shark just in case on the road.
Yeah, just in
something
case on the
happens.
road something happens,
Yeah.
All possibilities.
I
didn't have to learn how to parallel park for the driving test.
You didn't?
No.
Man, that's. Do you even know how to? Still,
I lived in Chicago for 5 years.
Okay, I was gonna
Of course
say.
I do.
I was like, because how did you get through Chicago without?
So the first learning that was a little rough, but then I got pretty good at it.
Yeah.
I learned, the whole thing where you pull up to the car next to you, with you, you kind of get level with their mirror, and then you.
Yep. I take pride in my parallel parking abilities. I feel like I've gotten really good at it.
I have an interesting question for you.
Yeah.
Of course, you would be good at it in your Mini Cooper. Very small
Yes.
car.
Yeah.
How are you in the Subaru?
Oh, it's a different experience altogether. It is like a different sport. It's so. I haven't had any issues so far. To be honest, the Mini Cooper didn't have that backup camera or any of the cool techie stuff, and this one does. And so I feel a little bit more accurate than I was in the Mini Cooper. I was just kind of blindly I think I'm good. And so this one, it's I'm okay, but I definitely Mini Cooper I could put in places no other car could go. But this one I definitely am one with the rest of society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely don't have any assistance from my car because my car is 16 years old.
Yeah. And that's fine.
It's fine. It works. I mean,
yeah.
I did have to get it serviced, and it was about 40% the actual blue book value of the car,
Yeah.
but it still runs.
Hey, that's what matters. And that does it for questions. Thank you guys for the questions. There are a bunch we didn't answer, so we'll get on those next week. But thanks
And in
for
the second Patreon episode.
This is true. This is true. Next, we'd like to wrap things up by announcing next week's movie. Which, Jeff, could I pitch one that I think would be a good
Pitch
idea?
it.
Could
Throw
we
that
do-
fastball.
We should do Nope. If you're down to watch Nope.
I am.
Okay. All right. It is a horror movie, and it is kind of scary, but it's pretty interesting, and I think it would make for a great podcast.
Yeah.
It's doing some big numbers right now, too, which is always good to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah, next week we're going to talk Nope. And next we like to read a review because we love hearing what you guys have to say about the podcast.
Yeah.
Even
It's
the
a
bad
review of the
ones.
podcast, not like just any review.
Right. This one, this one comes from HHHFTJJSJSF button smash. The subject line is almost hit a buck listening to the Minions episode. 5 stars, and reads, he just wanted to hear what you guys had to say. So that's...
I'm glad you did not hit the buck.
Yeah, I'm glad we did not cause an awful accident.
A deer collision.
Yeah.
You know that when you're driving in like deer country, if the deer comes in front of you, you're supposed to hit it because
Really?
it's less dangerous to you than swerving.
I guess so, yeah.
But if it's a moose, you swerve. Those things,
Yeah,
because
no.
you would pretty much cut off the moose's legs, and then the rest of the moose would fly through your windshield. But deer are
Right.
short enough to where you would just.
Even deer, though, kind of scare me sometimes. They can be pretty bulky, but
Yeah, but not like moose. Have you seen
not
a
a
moose?
moose. I have seen a moose swim across a lake, and thank God I haven't seen a moose in the wild because they do terrify me.
They're huge.
They are like the kings. I was just talking to someone about this. They are like they can take down bears. Like they are
They're
terrifying.
massive.
Yeah, it's a little outdoor tip from the Carscast
Yeah.
is be wary of mooses.
Also,
Meese.
hippos and baboons.
Oh my God, yeah, Jesus.
We don't have those in Florida.
No, not in Chicago either.
You
But,
did have an alligator in Chicago that one time.
We did, yeah.
Chance the
Yeah.
Snapper.
Yep.
Someone just released an alligator into a park in Chicago for some reason.
Yeah.
I thought, this is fine.
This and this next part of the podcast is thanking the patrons over at patreon.com/carscast. If you're looking for just more Carscast content, you got to head over to the Patreon where you can get exclusive access to bonus episodes, Q&As, shout-outs at the end of every episode, which I'm about to do, and monthly Zoom Hangouts, which we should do pretty soon here.
Pretty soon. Let's
Now that I'm
schedule
looking at it, yeah.
today. Not
Yeah.
for today, but like
But
schedule it
today.
when it would be. Yeah.
I think we'll be fine. So yeah, if you want to get in on these fun perks, you got to head on over to patreon.com/carscast. And let's start by let's read some names. Some of the lovely patrons. Sorry, I'm just stalling as they load. Thank you, Alex Thomas, Anson Contreras, Belly, Big Beard Pirate, Boinks, Camilla, Coop, David Borslow, David Sir, Eden, Fid Richardson, Goodnight Tale, Grant Gow, Jeff, I gotta stop recording real quick. Kevin James just called me. John Van Hout, Joshua Hughes, Justine from Raw by Julia Ducournau, Katie T, let's change the Google search results for PTA, Leah Butriago Ramirez Tamayo, Levin, thank you for talking about therapy, Liv Rob, Lukewarm, Maddie Robertson, Martin Deff, Mary Lee Borslow, Meridian, Michael Rennie, Monroe Page, Owen Felton, Queen of Staten Island, Quentin Martini, Rakakuni, Riley Ost, Ryan M, Sean Kenny, Stella Perry, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty, Werben, Jagerman, Jensen, Taylor Smiley Face, 10 Billion, The Raccoon from Airborne, 7th Inning Fetch, Vegard Strom, Wes Kinley, Wiley Todd, Yusef A, and Zoe Hernandez. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I did not get a call from Kevin James, by the way. That was fake. One day, though.
One day. I mean, I know that's been your dream for a while.
We've been working on that. Anyway, Jeff, anything to close us out with? Anything to say? I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.